Institution of Engineers Kerala State Centre, IEEE Kerala Chapter, Computer Society of India Trivandrum Chapter, Project Management Institute Kerala Chapter, Internet Society Trivandrum Chapter, Vakka Malavi Foundation Trust Trivandrum, and IEEE Engineering in Medicine and Biology Kerala Chapter. Today with us, we have Dr. Ramlada Marimuthu, who is a senior life member of and the founder chair of Madras IEEE Women Engineering Affinity Group. And she is currently the professor at the IT department of Anna University. And she'll be taking us through her webinar on assistive technology, a pathway to meaningful engineering. And we really look forward to hearing a lot from you, ma'am. And as we move on, I would like to request Bhagishri VS of IEEE to do the welcome address. Can we have you, Bhagishri?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Fida, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Those who try their best shall have victory, while those who try with effort deserve victory. Good evening, everyone. I warmly welcome all of you to the 32nd webinar of Inter-Society Weekly Webinar Series. The topic for today's webinar is Assistive Technology, a Pathway to Meaningful Engineering. Anything we can do to make a product better and help someone else be more productive is the right thing to do. The COVID-19 crisis has affected societies and economies all around the globe and is bound to permanently reshape our world as it continues to unfold. Undoubtedly, the necessity to bring about new insights into creating a better life for our society arises. To talk about this topic with immense pleasure, let me welcome Dr. Ramlada Marimuthu, a professor of IT Department, Anna University. Welcome, ma'am. Next.
Ma'am.
I would like to welcome Professor Sunitha PV, Treasurer of IEEE Kerala Section, to the session. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
Next, I would like to welcome Dr. Krishna Kumar, sir, from Project Management Institute Kerala Chapter, to the session. Welcome, sir. Next, I would like to welcome Harindralal, sir, from IEEE and all other eminent personalities gathered here to this session. I also welcome Fida Fatima, MC for today's webinar, and all other participants to this event. Hope you all enjoyed. Once again, I welcome you all. Thank you. Over to Fida, the moderator. Fida, are you there?
Shall I go ahead?
Sorry, ma'am. Actually, I think Fida is...
Bhagishri, you can invite Sunitha.
Okay, sir. Next, I would like to welcome the Treasurer of IEEE Kerala Section, Sunitha BV, ma'am, to introduce a speaker. Ma'am, please.
Thank you, Bhagishri. And hi, good evening and good day to one and all. And I am privileged to welcome or introduce our Ramlada ma'am to this august audience. Actually, she is very close to IEEE Kerala Section, and we have been associating with her for many years in many ways. And we know that she has done a lot of socially relevant projects, especially in the area of assistive technology. And I will read some of her, I read a brief bio of her. Okay. Dr. Ramlada Marimuthu has been in teaching for more than 3 decades and has published 6 technical books and more than 40 research papers in international conferences and journals. She also guides students in developing unique solutions for social problems like special needs and women empowerment. She has delivered lectures on assistive technology in universities and conferences all over the world, and was invited to the Google headquarters, Mountain View, California, to deliver a speech on her research in assistive technology for people with special needs. Dr. Marimuthu is a senior member of IEEE and founder chair of Madras IEEE Women in Engineering Affinity Group. She was R10V coordinator for 2008 to 10 and chair the IEEE Women in Engineering Committee for 2011 to 12. She launched an exclusive project, Sangamam, for the transfer of technology to rural areas. Based on her work to improve the quality of life for the rural society, she was awarded the IEEE MGA Achievement Award 2008, the Lifetime Achiever Award by the Lions Club International 2009, and the Mentor Award by the Secretariat for Disabled, the Government of Tamil Nadu in 2009, IEEE MGA Leadership Award 2012, and ABI Change Agent Award 2012. She was awarded the Sisters Pass It On Award 2014 by the Anita Borg Institute of Women and Technology. She also won the We Inspiring Member of the Year Award 2016 from IEEE Women in Engineering Committee. A lot of applause, ma'am. Anything left? Okay.
Thank you,
So
ma'am. Thank you.
we are eagerly waiting to hear from you, ma'am.
Oh, thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much.
Shall I start
Thank you,
now?
ma'am. Yeah, ma'am. Now it's over to you, ma'am. Ramlata ma'am can.
Okay, right. Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank Kerala Section. Every one of the Kerala Section members and non-members are friends of mine. As Sunita ma'am said, we have been associated with Kerala Section for nearly 10 years or more, it should be. And I have always found that being nearer to Tamil Nadu, it is easier to collaborate with the Kerala Section on all of my activities. So you will find that in many of my activities, I was invited to the Kerala Section, and I have invited the Kerala Section people also to my place. And today I'm going to talk about the assistive technology, a pathway to meaningful engineering, which I would say that I have been experiencing it. So this presentation is actually an experience of mine. So I hope that everyone will be interested in following it if you find it really meaningful. When you have a pathway to meaningful engineering, I think it's very enjoyable, and also it also gives us a lot of confidence. So I hope that the younger generation will be able to follow it. So first, let us talk about the quality of life. The quality of life, as we know, have many facets. It can be social, environmental, physical. There are so many things. But if you see, do we have the quality of life, the best quality of life in everything? If you calculate that, how do we calculate it? All the people all over the world should have education. Then they have the quality of life called education. So if you take that kind of calculation, we miserably fail. And that kind of calculation has been done by somebody else. And you can see that the best quality of life has been awarded to some of the countries. There is a list of the countries who are striving for the best quality of life, but not everything. They are striving for something to give the best quality of life for their people. For example, Norway, they have the best quality of life in education, paid jobs, and longevity. If you take Switzerland, it is lowest unemployment is called best quality of life. So if you take this kind of calculation for the quality of life, we really miserably fail in achieving the best quality of life all over the world. Even the topmost powers, they are not able to bring the best quality of life for their people in overall sense, which means that as engineers, we have so many opportunities to improve this quality of life for the people. And so that gives us a power where you can employ your own technology to bring the quality of life to a higher level. I won't say best quality of life, but at least to a higher level for the people, at least around you, if not for the whole world, at least around you. So what do we mean by special needs? Every one of us have the basic needs, which is food, water, and shelter. But these basic needs become, for some of the people, as special needs itself. You can see the lady trying to get some water. It is not even clean, some water, and they're going to use it for drinking as well as cooking. And you can see some of the places where some epidemic has occurred or pandemic has occurred, and how the people are struggling. And in some of the places, people don't even have a proper housing, a proper shelter, and no electricity. That is also considered to be a necessity right now. And all these become special needs. And I have included this dolphin tale too, because I thought that the family who was trying to bring out this dolphin to take up the life after he has lost his fin, it was really inspiring. When a family can help a dolphin to take up their life, the quality of life can be improved for a dolphin. There are so many people who don't even have shelter and the basic needs like water. And this gives us a lot of opportunity to provide something through our technology to bring the basic needs of these people, which is considered to be special needs by them. So I've thought about this as a social innovation, and on the point of the education point of view, if we take this special needs and try to connect them with the technology, we can bring out so many social innovations. And how do we do it? Identify a real problem. First, identify a community nearby and find out whether they have a need. And if they have a need, whether it is really a problem. And probably all over the world, there are so many communities who have the same kind of problem, which means that if your technology can solve this problem, then it can be replicated elsewhere also. So identify that real problem, which will improve their quality of life. And for that, you cannot just identify by just going and watching. You have to connect with them. You have to talk to them. You have to go down to their level and be empathetic and understand. Then only you can connect with them. Usually they throw you out, I tell you, because I have faced so many of this throwing out cases. And after you connect with them and you become a friend of them, you can identify this real problem, and you can make them understand that there is a possibility of improving the quality of life by solving this problem. They won't believe it at the first instance. You will have to tell them again and again, there is a possibility. And if there is a possibility, then you have to start the action. It is not possible for you to do it alone. So get hold of some collaboration, either for the funding or for the technology or even for manpower. So some kind of need will be there for your problem solving, and now it becomes a social innovation. You can use it for this community, you can use it for another community, and you can even make it into a business for your own life. However it is, it becomes a social innovation. Now, what are the areas in which social innovation can be implemented? There are hundreds of areas. I'm taking only 4 of them where I have implemented something. Education, being an educator, that is my easiest part. So I took education as my first way of improving the quality of life. Then there is energy and electricity, environment, healthcare, and all these things has to come only when you connect with the community and if there is only a need. Otherwise, it becomes just a business, not a social innovation. So if you take the innovation, I found that it is necessary for the computer to be to become a part of the life, especially in the rural places. It becomes a necessity for them. It becomes also a social innovation. If you can provide through some means a sustainable computer education or computer literacy. So we started with a small training program for the rural girl students, especially from the government schools, where the children were really interested in learning about the computer. And one of the student branches nearby also became our partner, and we started this as the first project of Sangamam project. And under this, we conducted the first workshop in 2008. And we were astonished to see not only those girls, but their teachers also were interested, and they also sat through the whole workshop for 5 days. And this gave us the courage to approach the institute, Coimbatore Institute of Engineering and Information Technology, to provide computers for this school. And they were also inspired by the interest of the students as well as the teachers. So they provided 2 computers to the school. And it started from there. It was only a start. And after that, now it has become a full-fledged computer lab for that school. It is maintained properly. And the project is also continuing with the help of their own students. They are not coming to the Computer Institute of Engineering and Information Technology, Coimbatore Institute of Engineering and Information Technology, but they are doing it on their own itself. The next one is, that was the time the global warming was thought about elaborately. So we just started with a small outreach program for the rural school children to think about this global warming. And we asked them to prepare 1 or 2 projects, and we made it into a project competition. You wouldn't believe it. When we arrived on the day of the competition, we were astonished to see the whole school was involved in the project competition. And even the kindergarten students, they had some of the posters and other things to show and talk about. And every one of the students in the school was involved, and thinking that it will take 2 or 3 hours for us to go through the project and probably award the best project or 1 or 2 projects. Finally, we had to stay the whole day. And after that also, it became just a kind of an inspirational storytelling event for us, which encouraged us to conduct more competitions later. So this was the amount of interest that is shown by the school students as well as the school authorities. So when the next institute called Siddhaganga Institute of Technology, the girls approached me saying that there is a tribal village in Karnataka nearby to Tumkur, saying that they don't have electricity. They haven't had electricity at all. There are no electric lines, and till now there is no electricity. And I was really wondering how these people lived without electricity. And I asked them, how is it possible? Ma'am, they sleep at 6 o'clock, that's it. Then why do they need the electricity right now? Right now, some of the children have started going to the school, and these school-going children have to walk nearly 5 miles to reach their school and come back. After coming back, they naturally play, and by 6 o'clock they sleep. They don't do the homework. And this makes them unprepared for the next day class, which makes them drop out of the school. And we want to stop that school dropouts from dropping out of the school. And that is why we want to provide them with electricity. I was really inspired by the forethought of the students. So I said, okay, there should be something for you out of it. What is the learning that you are going to do? And they wondered what they can do. I said, why don't you wire all the houses? You take the help of an electrician. Being electrical students, you can also learn wiring. And after that, we will see, I will provide the materials, but I will not provide the labor cost. They agreed for it. And there were 15 houses, and these children, they wired the whole thing with the help of the electrician from Siddhaganga Institute of Technology. And seeing their interest, the institute itself took steps to bring electricity through the government authorities. And it even made to the papers, you can see, because it was a student project supported by the most influential Siddhaganga Institute of Technology. So these 15 houses now have electricity. The next project I implemented was for the environment. It was for a place called Thandalam near Chennai, which is a green village, but they didn't have any kind of agriculture. They were working in a glass factory, and only women were working. The men were just enjoying. And the school, there was a school, but the school did not have children because the children didn't want to go to the school. What can you expect when the women are working and the men are not doing anything? So we went to them and we got hold of the counselor there, then the self-help group there, and we slowly introduced the kitchen garden for them, for the women, saying that it will be beneficial for them to have their own vegetables, and the health of their family is going to improve. You wouldn't believe it. Within 1.5 years, they had a full-fledged kitchen garden producing vegetables, which was actually too much for them. And these too much vegetables were dried, and we gave them an idea to do it as an entrepreneurship, to sell it, but they didn't want to do it. So they wanted to dry it and then reuse it. So they started, some of the people actually started the entrepreneurship also, but most of them reused it. But they were also happy that they used their own vegetables. And we taught them something called smokeless chula and fireproof thatches, because everything was thatch roofs. And they said usually fire is the only enemy for them. So we explained to them the simplest way how fireproof thatches can be built. And the next environment, the entrepreneurship program I gave was in Coimbatore. This is again nearby to Pollachi. And this is with the help of the Eco-Green unit of the Tamil Nadu Agricultural University, where you can see the coir pit. The coir pit was used for making toys. So this was the training we provided for the women, and they had to mix it with latex, press it or mold it into the shapes, and wind silk thread over it. But the problem was, being women, they found it very difficult after latex has been mixed to press it and mold it into the proper shape. They could not give enough pressure. So our students from Kumaraguru College of Technology, they developed this machine which could automatically mix the latex as well as the coir pith and mold it into whatever mold we give and provide it, so that the women can just wind the silk thread over it. So now it is with the Eco-Green unit. They have made replicas of it, and they are using it for their own training. And this was also an opportunity for our students to learn about the actual need for the community and work on it. And after that, we started with providing this opportunity for all the children. The next thing we thought about was the disability. So we started with an international conference for especially the special needs people. And in that special needs people, we had, of course, we had invited people from 7 countries, and they gave wonderful speeches. But apart from that, we also gave 2 workshops. One was by the California State University, Northridge. They taught about the most international kind of wheelchair they had developed for their Brown Center. It was a really inspirational workshop. And the second workshop was by the Kovai Medical Center Hospital, the paramedical services, that is the occupational therapy unit head, Dr. Sujata Missal. She gave a great workshop on how technology really helps them treat their patients more. And that gave us the idea that they would really welcome us when we want to use our technology for finding the solution for their people. And with the help of the Kovai Medical Center Hospital, we created one more project also. And this is Upabrahmam. This is actually one of the projects by Sampath Kumar Veeraraghavan. Most of the people know about him. In 2004, when he was doing the undergraduate, he did the autism screener system for the autistic children from Maduram Narayanan Center for Exceptional Children. And for this, we wanted to deploy it in the government, and we went to the government first, and it was not possible because we could not meet them and talk to them. And finally, of course, we took the help of other people. Dr. Abdul Kalam also helped us, and we could actually deploy it in the other 32 districts of Tamil Nadu. And he was provided the MS on the basis of his humanitarian technology by Dr. Karen Panetta, and he completed his MS in a continuation of the humanitarian technology. And myself and one more person from Intel were the examiners for his MS thesis. And at the end, he was also recruited by the Intel people. And we had one more project called Writing Aid for the dyslexic children. Because if you know, dyslexic children, usually they don't have fine motor perception as well as the gross motor perception, which affects their ability to hold the pen. And the pressure they apply on the pen has to be communicated through the brain signals. And there is a problem in communicating this. It might be like the signals are intermittent. And because of that, they usually don't hold the pen properly. And the writing also is very bad. That is different. But the pen also falls down. So to help them with understanding that there is going to be the pen is going to fall down, we developed one writing aid using a microcontroller, which will indicate that there is going to be a pressure loss for the pen. As soon as the pressure loses, it will give a sound, an alarm for the child to hold the pen tightly. And the next, this was actually done in 2007, a gait corrective walking mat, which was developed for the SRM hospitals. And this mat was for the epileptic children. The training of the epileptic children to walk correctly is very difficult because of the imbalance that is there in their structure itself. And we designed this for the paramedical unit of the SRM hospitals, where this is again a mat with the sensors where if the child walks on it, it just plays music continuously. And if the child is not able to walk properly straight, and if he steps out of the mat in a way, anyway, then immediately a screaming sound will come alerting the child as well as the caretaker. So this was the first one actually, which was commercialized and which was used for the the society it was meant for. And next, from the Kovai Medical Center Hospital, the connection with them, we visited them and found out what their problem was. And we developed this AFO. That is, you might have heard about a problem called foot drop, which is a neuro disorder, which sets in just before the paralysis. And it is like the people who are affected with this kind of foot drop cannot hold their foot perfectly straight. And because of that, usually it drops, making a slap on the floor. So when they walk, it just slaps on the floor before they intend to walk, which gives them a pain. And to avoid this pain, they try to drag their foot, and that also gives them a hip pain. So with all these problems, they were suffering. And Sujata Misal, she told me that if you can find something, if you can do something for these people, I will be very grateful. So we tried to do it, approach it just in a very basic manner, where we just put a sensor to understand whether the person who is walking is holding his foot straight or not, which means that if the person is not holding it straight, it drops. Then the flex sensor, which actually measures the angle of the foot drop, if it is more than 90 degrees, it automatically means that there is going to be foot drop. Then immediately the sensor will make the foot horizontal by moving the foot. That is the basic model which we developed in 2014. And after 2 years now, we have actually patented the design with hybrid technology, because we have not used the basic model alone. This is only a concept proof. But after that, we have reduced the power consumption with the help of the hybrid technology and patented it in 2019. Next one is the smart agriculture, which was a project funded by the IEEE Foundation to help the people, the agriculture people of Coimbatore district. And this was to bring the technology to the farmers. So technology supported farming was our goal, objective. And we created a website and also a mobile app to help them understand the basic needs. And this is actually connected with the Tamil Nadu Agricultural University and also the Indian Council for Agricultural Research. So they can connect with them anytime, and they can get advices for their own personal farming problems. But at the same time, the best practices are also available on the website. There is a forecast, weather forecast, which will advise them for understanding what is the best time for them to seed and harvest. And these are all some of the indications for them to give them a helping hand. That is it. And apart from that, we also conducted the awareness programs so that the consumers can be connected with these farmers, so that straight connection between them will help them market their producers to the consumers easily, rather than giving it through an intermittent people. So these intermediaries are eliminated with the help of the mobile app. And right now we have around 600 farmers connected with each other and with the consumers also. They can show their producers and fix their prices, and they can connect with the consumers. So this is the map data. This is one of a very interesting projects. Actually, we went to a place called Kembanayakan Palayam, which is near to Coimbatore. And this Kembanayakan Palayam, we actually went there just for an outreach project to meet school children there. But we came up with another problem where they said their water is filthy. And there is no indication that why the water is filthy, because they are getting the water from a bore well, which is around 2 miles away. But there is a tobacco factory nearby. Probably the tobacco water seeps in. But whatever it is, the water smells differently at first. After 6 hours of standing, the smell of the water intensifies and you cannot consume it. And whatever they cook out of it, it doesn't stand for more than 4 hours, it spoils. So these people are daily wages people, which means that they cannot go for mineral water or bottled water or anything. And this gave us an idea, why can't we interfere and find out what is actually making the water that filthy. So we took a sample from them and tested it in our biotechnology lab. And finally, we had to make it into a project itself. And we selected some 17 items. These 17 items are all biofilters, which are either seeds or vegetable waste or tree barks or dried leaves, whatever it is, all are biofilters. And with that, every one of the filter, we check the water and we filtered it and rechecked it. And within 6 months, we were able to find out that the moringa seeds were the best for this particular water to lengthen the life of the water. Now the water actually stands good for 12 hours. And the cooked food also stands for 8 hours. That was the limit we could do. But even that was an improvement for those people. So they have just started using this moringa seeds as a filter as soon as they get the water from the pump. The next thing is with all these projects, which we have been doing for a small group of students, it was also necessary for us to share it with everyone, how the social innovation can bring up the quality of life to some community. So we started this SS12 International Project Competition. In fact, this was given to us by another group of SS12 from California. And they started it in 2007, I think. And they started it just as a hackathon, a Saturday, Sunday hackathon. And that was for only special needs, assistive technology for people with special needs. And but we started it as an international project competition in 2013 between 2 countries only, India as well as Bangladesh. And in 2019, it was renamed as SS12 because it was no longer under the structure of SS12. So we completely changed the whole structure, but still the SS12 International Committee also are on the advisory for our board. So these are some of the glimpses of the SS12, now considered as the SS12. You can see the speakers as well as the guests who have adorned our previous SS12. So 2016, 2017, 2016 was in Coimbatore. 2017 finals, we conducted it in Hyderabad. That's where Tessie Thomas was the guest. And in 2018, we did it in Sri Lanka. This Sri Lanka was a little more intensified because we had around more than 9 countries. In 2019, we changed the name as SS12 and we conducted it in Stamford International University, Thailand. And there the number of countries was still increased as 13. But this 13 was only the pilots I'm talking about. Apart from that, we had also increased the number of tracks. So for the virtual track, we had 6 more countries, which made it as nearly 20. So the innovation challenge is one track where we have pilots all over the world right now. For this year, we had around 47 pilots all over the world. Then Make a Fair is the one where the students are expected to bring out a product quality project. Then Junior Einstein is for the school children because for the first 2016 SS12, one school child wanted to participate, and I'm very happy to say that he was from Kerala. So he came and he participated in the SS12 along with the engineering students. He competed with them. When I told him that it will not be possible for him to compete with the engineering students, he said, at least let me try, ma'am. So I would like to come. So I was really inspired by this child. So I started this Junior Einstein track for the school children. And then the virtual track is for the people who cannot actually travel to the place where we are conducting the finals. And this V-Power track is the final one. This was introduced for the World Bank because the World Bank is now interested in increasing women representation in power and energy sector, and for that we introduced the power track. And this was the 2019 SS12, where we had around 600 people totally, along with the organizers, the participants, and the committee members from 30 countries, I would say. So SS12 2020, as everybody knows, we could not do it physically. So finally, we had to make ourselves satisfied with the virtual mode. But this gave us one more opportunity. So we conducted so many programs where we were able to reach out to many countries, even from South America. So now we have a pilot in Peru, South America, and Japan also. So we are really expanded ourselves from east to west because of the pandemic. And this year, again, we have reached out to around 6,000 people from 40 countries. And finally, we have conducted the finals this month on 8th of November. I'm very happy to say that the quality of the projects we encountered, it was amazing, amazing. Even with the amount of amount of difficulties they had in connecting with some of the team members. So now this is for actually bringing out an impact out of it. I have actually published a paper on this. I have calculated the data on social impact projects, how many of the students actually made their career on the basis of their projects, and some of them with the service associations. And when I compared them, I could make the conversion rate as, for the social impact projects, the career improvement, or the people who actually make their career on the basis of their project because they love the project, they love what they have done, that is more. So which means that we really have engineers, not engineering graduates. There have been so many international collaborations because of this assistive technology from different areas, different countries. We have signed an MOU with the California State University Northridge because they have an ME on assistive technology. And now they are doing one course for Kumaraguru College of Technology and providing the certificates from the California State University itself. And one more event was the EPICS and the education fair, which I conducted in 2014, especially for the engineering projects, particularly for the Indian people. And with the help of all these projects and all these social networking, as I was introduced, I got so many awards. I could network with so many people around the world. So I'm very thankful to IEEE and IEEE members, IEEE volunteers who have actually helped me reach through it. So if there are any concerns for people who want to do a social innovation, I have one say, which was actually told by Dalai Lama. If you think you're too small to have an impact, try going to bed with a mosquito in the room. When a mosquito can have an impact to stop you sleep for a whole night, naturally you will have an impact on a whole community. So thank you so much. I'm ready to answer questions now.
Thank you, ma'am. I would say that your experiences that you shared is really valuable, and thank you so much. And it's really influential, and we will look forward to coming up with such good events. And even you also mentioned about the necessity of conducting, or maybe I'm saying about the value-based engineering that we can have, that how we can benefit the society. It's really good, ma'am. Thank you so much. So, ma'am, can we move on to a question answer session now?
Yes.
Okay. Before moving on to the question answer session, I would also like to request everyone to fill in the feedback forms, and those who have registered will be receiving the recordings as well. And in the feedback form, please do mention if you all of you require the certificates also. So yeah, so moving on to the question answer session. Firstly, first question. Your journey through socially relevant engineering is marvelous. Many times engineers across are found to be socially disconnected, though they have a wealth of experience and knowledge. In your opinion, how can this be bridged?
Okay. As far as I'm concerned, I believe that every one of the person born is empathetic towards towards the people around them. So naturally, when we move out, when we go for our degrees and when we go for our education, we forget about all these things because we have been pressurized to go for the same kind of activities again and again and again. You have to study, you have to write an assignment, you have to write an examination, then you have to pass, that's it, finish, and then go for the next semester. Forget about what you have learned during the previous semester. That has been our program. We have been programmed to accept that, come out of that program, because it is not enjoyable. We are not really doing anything. It is not meaningful at all. So the first thing you need to do is look around you. Whether people are all happy, I don't think so. There are people who cannot be happy, that is different. But the people who want to be happy, are they really happy? And if they are really happy, definitely you can find out from them what kind of medicine they are taking, I would say. So for me, it was an eye-opener when I encountered something like a disability, I would say, in my family itself. So every one of us needs something to hit on our head and say, hey, come on, it is your duty to find out what can be done. So that was my eye-opener. But even before that, we had started working on this just by the help of students. The biggest problem right now, every one of us is facing, we are not talking to our friends. We are just chatting to them. Please talk to them. Please talk to them. It needs to be like you have to be with them. You have to understand them. You have to be empathetic. And talking to each one of them might give you an idea. And that will really make you a real good person. And not very many of them will be interested in becoming a good person. It doesn't matter. But at least let us enjoy what we are studying. Let us do it meaningfully. And for that, we need to understand that. So the first thing is look around, start listening to the people. Even if they are not talking to you, go and talk to them and ask them to share something with you. So that is the first thing you can do. And of course, it will be very difficult for you when you have a completely tight schedule. It doesn't matter. You can drop some of them. You can go for this because this is going to be very meaningful for you. I think I answered the question, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Next question. Ma'am, your innovative techniques to cater to the needs of various sections of society are highly commendable. So what I understand from your activities is that the basis for all these is a sense of social awareness, which every one of us should develop for the betterment of the quality of our lives.
Sure.
What is your opinion on this?
Yes, definitely. That's what I have been telling. See, I will tell you one thing. In 2002, when I started the IEEE student branch in my college, some of the children came to me and said, why don't we start women in engineering? My students actually inspire me so much. So I never say no to them. When they said, okay, we will start, but what is women in engineering? See, that was the first time I had heard about women in engineering, and they said there is something called women in engineering, and we can go for it so that we can also do some outreach activities for the school children, because they were actually thinking that we have come to the engineering part, and the engineering as such is not very, very inspiring, because it is again just like the school where you had to mug up everything and then go for the examination and finally forget about it and come and start fresh. But they said, ma'am, the children are really suffering because there are not many trained teachers in some of the rural schools. And I came to know that I was aware of it because I had worked in rural colleges, and I never thought about the rural schools at that point of time. And I was really inspired by the thinking of the children. I said, okay, why don't we start doing it? If there are no trained teachers, you are all trained teachers. Now you can teach them. You know, even now, every year, my students prepare at least 10 projects, either on the Newton's laws, some physical laws and chemical laws, and they have something to show, not the actual example that is given in the book, but something related to engineering, which will explain to them how that law will work. And when we go to the rural schools and explain to the children, so this is what you have studied as Newton's first law. You see how this is moving, and the Newton's law is proved, and you see the spark on their faces. Oh, it's lovely to see. So this kind of projects every year we do, and we go to a nearby school, some school, and we teach them. So this gives the students, engineering students, also a different way to think about what they are actually studying. At the same time, they also are able to make out into as if they are teachers to the younger children. See, the younger children listen to the elder children rather than the teachers better. So this works for everybody. So this is one way of doing it. This is the simplest thing that you can do. You can go to a nearby school and teach them about whatever laws they are studying with an engineering exam.
Thank you, ma'am. That was indeed a really helpful knowledge to get, and we can also look forward to developing them. And ma'am, next question, your perseverance is admirable, she said, comments, and then
thank you.
Can you share with us how you handle rejections when people don't want or don't appreciate what you want to do for the vulnerable or the underprivileged?
Okay, right. Yeah, I told you, you have to be ready for people kicking you out. I've encountered so many kickouts, you know. The first time we went to that Kandalam Gramam for the Sangamam project, they just kicked us out. They said, no, we don't need you and all. I know you people will come and you just take some photos and go away. All these things we know, come on. And again, we went there. And finally, we went to one of the persons who is little influential. She was the kind of head for the self-help group there. So we thought that all the women will listen to her. And these women, if they are listening, we were not very much worried about the men because they were not doing anything anyway in that village. So women were the only responsible people who were actually working in the glass factory and working at home and taking care of the children. So we thought that if we can correct the women to think for themselves as well as the family, then we would have achieved whatever we wanted to do. And at that time, that was the first 2 to 3 years of our outreach projects. So we didn't have much idea on how much we can actually do. So we just gave them some ideas about how they can protect their houses, how they can increase their income, and how they can actually work at home rather than going for the glass factory and all. So that, and natural resources, the natural resources that was available in that village was going to waste. So we wanted to actually make them understand that those natural resources are to be used by them, and that will really give them a better, valuable life. So that was the first thing we wanted to tell them. And once they encountered Dr. Radha Murali, who was an environmentalist, oh my God, she is amazing. She talks to them in their own language, and she makes them understand, she makes them come behind her. So that was the way we could actually reach out to them. So this is one way, perseverance. Perseverance is the only way when you get rejection. That is one way of doing it. And how you handle it, because usually you get demotivated when you face some rejection. Yes, when I face some rejection, I'm demotivated. The first, not the first time, every time I get a rejection, I get demotivated. And that gives me a lot of sadness for some time. But I'm a very positive person. And if I'm very confident that what I'm doing is correct, I'm not doing anything wrong, I'm not doing something which will actually spoil the territory or environment or the livelihood of the people, then I have nothing to fear about. So these things, I self-motivate myself, and I think that whatever I'm doing is wrong. If these people are really blessed to have my support, then they will understand it. So I'm believing that they have that kind of blessing. So let me try it one more time. If they don't, I will find another person who has that kind of blessing. So as far as I'm concerned, when I'm doing nothing wrong, when I'm not hurting anybody, why should I bother? So whatever I'm doing for the people. Let me continue do it. If people can understand, let them continue. If they don't understand, it's their own difficulty. It's their own, loss. So I'm not bothered about it. So that way, you have to self-motivate.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's a very good thing, and we need to look up to everything in that aspect only. Whenever we start to look at an initiative, we should always have that in mind as well.
Yes.
The next is a question. How much of inbuilt assistive technologies are available in various operating system platforms in use worldwide? Should I repeat?
I'm not able to understand. What is that?
Yeah, okay. How much of inbuilt assistive technologies are available in various operating system platforms worldwide?
Okay. I think the question is whether there are different assistive technologies in different platforms, because many of the people will be using different operating systems. So whatever is available, whether it is versatile for all the operating systems. See, assistive technology is not one technology, one thing. It depends on the need for the person. I actually introduced the curriculum for assistive technology, and I taught it for 2 years in Kumaraguru College of Technology. And in that, you will see that this assistive technology devices, once they are developed, they are converted into mainstream technologies once people find a use for it. So mostly the assistive technology device, if it is created in one operating system, if it is created with one technology, it doesn't stay there itself. If people start finding it useful, then it will be converted into different operating systems and technologies. And some time after, it becomes a mainstream technology also, which means that it will be available to even people without special needs, a normal person also. For example, around 10 years back, some of my students, not 10 years, 7 years back, some of my students developed mobile apps for especially the blood bank and some of the services in our college. And now everything is in mobile app. So at that time, it was really big for something to be available on a mobile app. But now the mobile apps are even for a feedback form. So that way, it is going to be going to become a mainstream technology once people find a use for it. So you can mention one particular device, whether it is available in this platform. It is available mostly in the internet. You can search for it.
Thank you, ma'am. Next is a question from Francis Joseph. He provides training on innovation, and he has visited more than 10 innovation centers and 3 social innovation centers in Toronto. But he says that we did not see much interest in activities in Kerala and maybe India also. So how can we improve the situation?
Okay, that's a wonderful question. And that was the main reason I started this SS12. Because I thought that this assistive technology, once I tested with my students, and I found that the students are so much interested in creating something with an assistive technology by creating a meaningful project rather than just bringing something as a final year project and presenting it and getting a degree. They were really interested in doing something once they are introduced to this assistive technology projects. I started doing it for my own students, and without saying that it is necessary for the other children also, we started this SS12. And you can see that the number of countries increasing in the participation, and the whole SS12 from the beginning to now, it is only for on social innovations only. So the theme is under the Sustainable Development Goals of United Nations. So the children from anywhere in the world, they can take a sustainable development goal, which is relevant to their country, and find a community where this goal is really necessary, and they can develop a project. So that way we have created it in such a way that the students also will have the need to go to the community, talk to them, and find out whether there is a need, and then come back with a solution and implementing it and presenting it. And I'm proud to say that many of the children who were winners of our SS12 from 2016 onwards, every one of the winners have become entrepreneurs. They have commercialized their products. Some of them have actually incubated, but they have not actually done a startup. But 3 of them have a startup also for their thing. So this actually increases their interest towards the engineering by providing a career path also. Many of the engineering children, they are not interested in doing this project because they don't find it really useful for their career. They know that they can go to an IT company and start working there, and finally there is no connection between these two. But now it is not the case. Now the students really demand something which is meaningful, which is enjoyable, and which they want to really see something tangibly. And I think that's a very good change. And this kind of competitions, the government also has started now giving out to the younger generation. The companies like Microsoft, Intel, and even what is that? Texas Instruments. They also have that kind of competitions. And with these competitions, it is really possible for us to bring more of the children towards meaningful engineering careers. I can see from my SS12 participants that people are really working towards bringing out something meaningful for their project. So I'm sure the scenario is changing.
Yes, ma'am. And that's all with the questions. So there is a comment in the chat box. I would like to read it to you. The social projects that your team has involved is an eye-opener, especially for the student engineers who will be inspired to focus on social impacts of their work in the course of their career. Most require multidisciplinary learning, which has been diminishing over the years. Thanks for the great talk. So I felt it that was indeed a good comment that you put on. And
Thank you.
that's what I, ma'am. It was really good to hear a lot from you. And we got to know what all innovative things we can do on later on, even as being a Keralite or being an Indian. We all would also like to develop our contribution from our country.
Sure.
Yeah, so we
no,
also...
you are actually leading. I would say because I learned a lot from you when your Kerala section became the forerunner for creating the connection for the floods, connection for the people, and the relief work for the people with the government of Kerala. It was excellent.
Thank you. So thank you, ma'am. So I would like to inform all of you that the Google Forms are put in the chat box. I had seen a comment that people haven't received the feedback forms yet. So the form has been put in the chat box, so please see to it. And so as we come to an end of today's talk, I would like to request Dr. Krishna Kumar of the Project Management Institute Kerala chapter to give the vote of thanks. Can we have you, sir?
Thank you. Hello, good afternoon to all, or good evening to all. I'm Dr. Krishna Kumar, President of PMI Kerala chapter. On behalf of the Inter-Society Collaboration Initiative, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to Professor Ramalada Marimuthu, the Professor IT Department of Anna University, for delivering a very excellent session on assertive technology, a pathway to meaningful engineering. Your efforts to improve the quality of life of others through social engineering techniques are very fabulous, and your efforts are really commendable. So we are so proud of you that you are able to make a lot of changes to people and their quality of life. Volatility, uncertainty, and the complexity and ambiguity are the new norms now, and the social engineering and the strategies to handle it and pivot it accordingly will make a human being a grand success. I'm sure the insights of Professor Ramalada Marimuthu which has been shared now, which will benefit you, and you can take many of this great learning to apply in your day-to-day life. The one thing which I have taken myself is that you should not have to chat with your friends or close people who are there. You need to listen to them. That's one of the excellent learnings actually, which I have. Thank you, ma'am, for making that happen. Once again, I extend a heartfelt thank you to you, ma'am, and we will look forward to interact you in the near future as well.
Yes, thank you. I'm also looking forward to it.
I would like to extend the sincere gratitude to Harindralal, Fida Fatima, Bhagyashree, and Professor Sunita Bivi of IEEE for handling these sessions extremely well, and finally to each and every one of you to taking time in attending this session. Thank you, and I'm sure that this session will be really inspiring for every one of you, and this will change your life going forward. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. And once again, thank you to ma'am, because as I said, the session was really inspiring. And thank you so much, ma'am. So with this, we've come to an end of the 32nd talk of the Inter-Society Weekly Webinar Series. And next, we have the Inter-Society Weekly Webinar Series talk number 33. And it is on Hello Englishes, Astounding Varieties of Languages. And as we know, I feel the title is really interesting as well. So even I hope to hear a lot from the title itself. And it is by Professor Shyamala Sasidaran, PhD, and who's a former professor at the Kerala University. It is on 25th November, Wednesday, from 6 to 7 p.m. And I really hope all of you would also join to this. And as I said, I would like to once again remind all of you about the feedback forms. And I hope this session was really interesting to all. And that's all. Thank you from my part. Thank you to all the attendees of today's session. And ma'am, Ramlata ma'am, once again, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Have a nice day. Hope everything is fine there.
Yes, everything is fine.
Thank you, Professor Amalada Marimuthu.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.